Ladies and gentlemen, I am the ace Dante Jayce here for Legendary Action Wrestling Viva la Raza 2 La Revancha. And with me at this time is Maven, the world famous winner of Tough Enough. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
It's my pleasure.
We're very happy to have you here at LAW. And Maven, you've been wrestling for a long time now.
Many years.
And Tough Enough, I think that's probably what you're most famous for.
Probably.
What are some of your favorite memories from being on that competition?
Well, you know what? The fact that it gave a fan, and that's what I am first with the wrestling business. I'm a fan first, but it gave a fan the opportunity to be in the business. Gave me the chance to pursue a dream and test myself, because life. That's what life is. We test ourselves each and every day. This for me was my ultimate competition.
Mm-hmm. And does anything stand out specifically? Any?
Oh man, yeah. Tons of things. I mean, just the fact that they set it up to where it was almost like a boot camp style thing. I mean, remember my season, which was season 1 of Tough Enough.
Very first season.
13 people start the show, 8 people quit.
Wow.
I mean, when you have something that 8 people quit, not even half the class finishes, it's definitely tough. I quit my job, I'd sold my car, and I canceled the lease on my apartment. So I had nowhere else to go. I had to stay and see the thing through. If you're asking for one particular memory, I would have to say it was the morning that we first met Taz. And obviously, watching Taz from his ECW days, then when he transitioned over to WWF at the time, before it was WWE, Taz is an intimidating human being. And to have, once again, as a fan, Taz is a good buddy now, but to have as a fan, an experience with Taz coming in, because we were still in bed, and he's ripping covers off, he's flipping stuff over, and he's like, and I remember he said, get up, today's gonna suck. And it wasn't a great day, but it was still cool to be around Taz.
At least he prepared you for it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times in life when something's gonna suck does someone tell you, this ain't gonna be fun?
Cool. So, do you still keep in touch with anybody that was from the Tough Enough show?
Oh, from Tough
Aside
Enough,
from Taz?
from the Tough Enough show, not really from the show. I mean, life takes over, and you move, you go separate directions. I obviously followed Chris Nowinski, Chris Harvard, and what he's done with concussion research, and Josh. Obviously, I'm really happy with
TNA.
I'm happy with the career that Josh has had. Josh, to be honest with you, Josh was the guy that I thought was going to win the show. I mean, he was the best wrestler of everybody in there, myself included. He was a way better wrestler than I was. I mean, he could do everything, and he got the psychology of the business. But I mean, life goes in different directions, and I wish them all well. If they're out there, I hope they're all doing well.
Yeah, and another thing you're famous for is, of course, eliminating the Undertaker from the Royal Rumble.
That hasn't been, talked about in about 10 minutes. So.
Well, you must be used to talking about it.
Yeah, I am. You know what? It's one of those, I guess, athletes or entertainers of any genre. They have their one signature moment, and for me, that's mine. And what a great signature moment to have. Quite possibly. For when I was in the business, he was the godfather. He was the king of wrestling. He was the king of the locker room. He was the king.
Legend.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be able to eliminate him from, I'll never forget it. It was in Atlanta, Royal Rumble. It was a great experience.
And then you beat him for the hardcore title too.
Absolutely, with The Rock's help.
Oh, well.
Yeah, with The Rock's help.
Well, The Rock only helped a little.
He only helped a little. I tell people, whenever people hear, I used to work with The Rock, I'm like, yeah, and I'm glad he could learn a thing or two from me and take it forth into life.
You trained him.
I trained him a little bit. Now, it's just, I've been very fortunate. I've been able to work with guys that I looked up to while I was growing up, like Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, guys I watched as a youngster. And then I was able to work with guys like The Rock, the Dudley Boys, John Cena, Batista. People watch Batista now and they watch the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And here's this big, and he's a great actor. But I knew him back when he was Leviathan down in OVW, and I just knew him as a good guy. It's weird how life takes you in many different avenues.
Well, The Rock became an actor, Batista became an actor. Do you do any acting? Cena as well?
You know what? I've after wrestling, I focused a lot on hosting. I got in. I worked with BET for a while. I worked with my longest stint, I had a stint. I was the sports host for the Home Shopping Network.
Oh wow!
And actually, if you go on YouTube, there's a funny video of me selling a cat litter box on YouTube. Yeah, cat litter boxes, no doubt. But you know what? We sold out.
Oh,
so I must have been doing something right.
You did it right.
I did something right.
You did your job.
I did it.
So I also remember you were on the Surreal Life.
Oh yeah.
And how was that?
It was, it was a great experience. And the last couple of years, we've lost a few of the people that I was on the house with. Alexis Arquette passed away, and most recently Florence Henderson.
Oh yeah.
I was on
That's a shame.
I was in a house with Mrs. Brady.
Uh-huh.
How cool is that? And, I've this business, this wrestling business, has led me down many paths, and I've been able to see a lot of things that a little country boy from Virginia wouldn't have been able to see otherwise, and I'm eternally grateful.
Yeah, well, we are grateful to have you here in LAW. Is there anything you want to say to all the fans out there?
Yeah, for everyone out there, for all you wrestling fans out there, and for all you LAW fans, Maven is here. Maven is excited to be here, and I will be definitely seeing you more in the future. Stay tuned.
All right, thank you so much, Maven. It was great having you here. Maven, ladies and gentlemen, the great Maven.
Thank you very much.